Anyway, I trust you've been enjoying yourselves and spending lots of money. I was going to do some housekeeping things, but I think you all know where the exits are. And please don't run screaming out of here before I'm done. The bathrooms are over there. And my tip jar, oh, I don't have one. Okay, never mind. So, Timothy asked me to try my hand at stand-up, something I've been threatening to do for a long time. For those of you that know me, you know exactly what's going to come out of this mouth. For those of you that don't, fasten your seatbelts. Let's see. So I didn't have to worry about what I was going to wear tonight because Timothy dressed me in garbage. This raincoat he made for me for Mother's Day a couple of years ago. It is all panels of different color umbrellas. And this is one of his one of his woven material handbags. And he macrameed the tassels. And it's getting warm already. And this is a dress that he made for me. These are his cassette tape woven panels. And God knows what kind of garbage this is, but this is the rest of it. So as you may know, I make gay babies. 100%. Who knew that I had a rainbow uterus? But who better to bestow the privilege and honor of having gay babies than on me? Because I am a fierce mama lion, and I guard my gay babies, and quite frankly, all gay babies everywhere, with life and limb, and I literally would fall on the sword for you. Although I present as being a lesbian, I am not. I do not crave the muff, the vajayjay, the snatch, the twat. But I do love you, and I love my gays. This past Wednesday night, I happened to be at a Pride happy hour in Saratoga Springs, and I had to convince this lesbian that I wasn't gay. I just don't know why she didn't see my femininity. Now, as for you straight people, if you're not part of the A for Ally, of the LGBTQIAP community, please don't feel left out. You already enjoy all of the kudos, the stickers, the stars, and all of the other straight-affirming BS that our great nation has been bestowing on you forever. So I will not save space. Did I get that right, Tim? For you.
Holding space. No, not
holding space? Well, you can hold this, honey. Okay. So Timothy Louis Westbrook came into the world covered in his own feces. They call it meconium. That's very chic. He had a rainbow umbilical cord to match my rainbow uterus. He was covered with a dark, downy, black fur. And when he saw the doctors, he said, "Hey!" And thus began my journey of raising him. Oh, and I have his baby blanket with me.
Let's see. The paper bag?
Yes, a recycled paper bag.
Ha!
Here you go. I know you haven't seen it in a while. Okay, so you already know how creative he is. You've all seen the picture and how he rocked those star-shaped sunglasses. He also knows how to rock a pair of stilettos. He looks better in a gown than RuPaul. He's more of a woman than Judy Garland. And I would just like you to know that his pronouns are his, him, he, and ho. Oops, that's a typo. I'm sorry, Hunter.
Takes one to know one.
I had no idea of the questions he would ask or the quick thinking that was going to be required on my part. Well, thank the fags and fairies, I was born with a quick wit because it came in handy. For example, a recurring conversation we had in the car, and we were in the car a lot. We lived in a very remote area in the Adirondacks, and it was 45 minutes to a grocery store or a McDonald's or to one of the red, yellow, green stoplights. So we're driving in the car one day, and Timmy, in his little E.T. voice, says to me, "Mommy, my penis is up." And I had all I could do to keep the car on the road. Well, really, my first thought was, I didn't know you could get a boner at the age of 3. But I didn't say that because I'm a model mother. And I said, "Timmy, honey, are you tickling your penis?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "Well, it's a muscle, and if you tickle it, it's going to get hard and stand up. So if you leave it alone, it will go down." Do you know my son? Do you know how hard, oh, no pun intended, that was for him? Thank you very much, Timmy, because that's not the only time we had that conversation. I think it was 15 the last time we had that conversation. Okay. So again in the car, we would be driving, and he would repeatedly say, "Mom, Mom, Mom," over and over and over. Yes, this was pre-Stewie, but I was convinced that they modeled that character on Timothy. So when I finally answered him, in my sweet, loving mother voice, while banging my head against the steering wheel, I said, "What, honey?" He said, "Hi, Mom." And finally, I said, "Timmy, I need to pay attention to the road when I'm driving, honey. Plus, my ears are tired." What I wanted to do was scream, "Shut the F up!" And y'all know how much Timmy loves to talk. Do you guys make space for those conversations? And again, the talking, and the talking. So one day, while we're in the Finger Lakes visiting my mother-in-law, she was trying to teach him how to swim. And I wanted to go down and see how it was going. So when I got closer to the water, I heard her saying, "Timmy, you won't get water in your mouth if you stop talking, honey." Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So another great story, and you know, it's a wonder I have any hair left at all, thank you. Timmy was 5 years old, and his sister was 2 years older. She was 7, and she had been losing a lot of teeth, and she had been getting a lot of money from the tooth fairy, who, by the way, Timmy was convinced was his Uncle Louie, but that's a different story for a different day. So he decided, I'm going to get in on this and I'm going to make some cash too, unbeknownst to me. So one night, I'm going past his bedroom, and he's sitting up in bed, and he goes, "Mom, come here." So in I go, and he pulls back his pillow. Now, for all the doctors in the room, you're going to enjoy this. He says, he pulls back the pillow, and he shows me this shriveled up thing that looks like a grain of rice. And he goes, you know that toenail that I have that keeps falling off? And I'm thinking, no, I don't. Do I need to call somebody? Like, what the heck? So he says, I'm gonna trick the tooth fairy into thinking, I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. God, I'm gonna trick the tooth fairy into thinking it's a tooth so she can leave me some money. Oh my God. So I say, oh, Timmy, well, the tooth fairy's not going to come because she knows that no one lost a tooth. And he goes, why not? And I go, well, with beads of sweat on my brow, because I didn't know what I was going to say, I said, well, there was no celebrating in the house, so nobody lost a tooth. Oh my God, this kid wiped me the F right out. So another good story is that Timmy was always hand sewing clothes for Barbies. At first they were his closeted lesbian sister's Barbies, but she was more into basketball, softball, soccer, you get the picture. And then I began buying Timmy his own Barbies for any occasion that Hallmark deemed necessary that you buy gifts for. So there were lots of opportunities to buy presents. Okay, so he outfitted the Barbies. He had Barbie weddings, there were bridegrooms, there were bridesmaids, he had a Barbie apartment, he had a whole section of cubbies in his closet, and although clearly he was out of the closet, he played in the closet. But the scariest thing of all, and for any of you that have seen his studio, was the sea of straight pins on the floor of his bedroom. You know the ones, they're 5 inches long and they've got the yellow ball on the end of it? Well, I was terrified to go in there. But in retrospect, if I hadn't been stoned all the time, I would have remembered to put on shoes or at least a pair of slippers. Duh. So then, in retrospect, I'm wondering, were those pins on the floor part of his creative process? Or were there just a bunch of dead straights on the floor? I don't know. But anyway, seriously, the long and the short of it is that Timmy was never a freak show to me. He was my son. I fed him where he was. He was very creative. I didn't try to label him, identify him, classify him. He was just a fabulous guy. And it's been one hell of a ride. So in closing, what I'd like to say to all of you, find your fabulous self and be that person. Go for whatever you want in life. You deserve to be happy. Everybody does. So lock arms with your inner self and go forth and conquer. I want you to know that I believe in each and every one of you, and you're all capable of greatness. Thank you very much.
Yeah,